Amazon Prime Day is officially here. We're actually right smack dab in the middle of it. And if you're anything like me, you've seen the incessant advertising for weeks from Amazon. I know I've seen the ads. You've also probably seen, if you're on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, all of the influencer videos on like early Prime Day deals or their Amazon favorites. It seems like the internet collectively, kind of like I talk about the Sephora sale, becomes all about Amazon Prime Day. Like you can't turn away from it, it's just everywhere. This year, instead of their 2 day sale, they've extended it to 4 days. So there is even more time to shop. There is even more time to get the deals and even more time to find shit you don't need. Today's video is going to be focusing on overconsumption. Amazon Prime Day is the biggest overconsumption event of the year. That is not really opinion because previous year stats suggest that Amazon made more revenue and sales than Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined. But this video is really meant for people who are enticed to shop Amazon Prime Day, who find themselves spending too much money. We're going to talk about how this day, it's not a day anymore, but still called Prime Day, how Prime Day encourages us to shop, to buy things we don't need, and we're just really going to focus on the overconsumption of it all. Some of it is, on Amazon side and the advertising. Some of it is the cultural moment. And then some of it is how we engage with all these things ourselves. I really just want to get into it. And I want to talk about one of the biggest traps first. Amazon is exceptional at nudging you off course slowly, maybe not slowly, maybe slowly, and repeatedly. You can come to Amazon Prime Day with the best of intentions. You're going to make a wish list. You're going to build your cart early before you get into the sales. You're going to get in, you're going to get in, get out. Maybe you've even set a budget. Both of these things are great things to do, to sit on your order, to sit on the things that you want. Of course, set a budget. Always set a budget. But the design of Prime Day, the design of Amazon, and even how we feel shopping, that can go out the window so quick. You add a couple of things to cart and then you're online and you're exposed to category wide discounts, the lightning deals and the flash sales. And then you click just browsing because maybe you didn't add those fridge containers to your cart, but like you've seen them on TikTok and you think it'd be really cute if your fridge was organized or you'd want to be more organized in your fridge. You've always wanted the fridge containers. Click, click, click. You're looking at the fridge containers. And then you go, well, it'd be really nice to go with the fridge containers for my juice. What about containers for my pantry? 2 hours later, you have the fridge containers, you have the pantry containers, you have the juice containers. Then you chuck in an ice roller because it's $9.99. And then you chuck in the skincare fridge because that's also on sale. And then you have a cart full of shit you never needed, stuff you never intended to buy. The thing is that a lot of this stuff doesn't feel like a bad purchase because you feel like you're in control potentially. But more importantly than that, you feel like you're saving money, like it's a good deal. So why not buy it? And none of these items can feel like a big deal because they're cheap, right? You're buying a $30 fridge kit for your containers or your $9 ice roller. None of that's very expensive. You're not buying a $300 vacuum. And even if you were going to be buying a $300 vacuum, you could justify it because it's on sale. This is exactly the trap. It's not about the big purchase, it's about this small, slow trickle of small ones. Amazon actually isn't banking on you spending $600 or even $300. They're banking on you adding 5 or 6 small items to your cart. And the small items are enticing because they're like the cheapest items. That's what I mean by small. And they feel fun, cheap, and harmless. Talking yourself out of buying the stuff that's fun, cheap, or harmless, or review it that way, is a really tough thing to do and really easy to buy. That's the consumption funnel though. One click and you're scrolling. One click opens the door to buy more things. This is what Amazon is built for. Low stakes temptations that feel harmless but adds up. This is the drip model of overconsumption. It's not one big thing. It's the slow, steady drip. And a little bit perhaps proof to this, or what I'm bringing forth as proof, is that the past 2 years, the average purchase on Prime Day has hovered around like $58, $59. So the average order is about $59. I think what also lends credence to the one purchase opening the door, the average household made 3 transactions. So instead of it being $60, it's about $180 total. Amazon's entire interface is to get you to start clicking and then to keep clicking and putting more things to want in front of you. And every one of those clicks is a new opportunity to sell you something, but also to sell you more things on top of that thing, to upsell you, I mean. Point of this is that it's so easy to like fall off course and people with the best of intentions going in wanting to buy one or two things or buy things in their budget. The moment you start looking what else, we're in a bit of trouble. But there's also people, and I've heard in my community of people who like they know Amazon Prime Day is coming and they feel itchy and they feel themselves wanting to shop. And arguably in that case, going on the website at all can be the floodgates opening. While it may feel worth it for the price, it's not just the price at play. It all adds up more than money wise. It can add up mentally. It can add up physically. More things in your house, more things to manage, more things to return, more things to store, more things to revisit. And then potentially the emotional fallout of buying all this stuff that you didn't need or didn't want. Or you get to the end of the week and you go, how the hell did I get here? Making a wish list or a budget aren't bad things. Those are great things. But there is so much stimuli and there are so many things to want that are extra tempting during Prime Day sale. And when all of this is packaged in a nice little bow of pleasure, they become extremely difficult. Having fun shopping, having fun clicking around is also part of the process and part of what keeps us engaged with shopping. Next up, I want to talk about urgency because the Prime Day sale is all about urgency and FOMO. And there is so much of this going around. I mean, it's a sale itself with a known expiration date, but there are other ways that this is done too. With the lightning deals, especially where it'll say like only 3 left in stock, or they'll show you the bar at the bottom that shows like how many deals have been claimed, or there'll be a countdown timer for how long the deal is active. These are framed as essentially like fake emergencies. That's how they can feel, where we can feel pressured into acting. Amazon primes you, pun intended, to make quick decisions. That's the whole point of the countdown timers and the deal claims, the lightning deals specifically. It can make shopping feel like a race. This isn't an accident, this is intentional by design. Scarcity and time pressure trigger a part of our brains, the part that is wired for survival. Back in the day, it was useful for helping us to secure resources. We are no longer in that moment. We are not actually trying to secure resources. We're faced with a countdown timer and an overall sale deadline. What this does, all of this pressure, all of this act now is designed to shorten the window between want or desire or discovery and purchase. It's designed to make that window as small as possible to encourage you to feel that urgency. If you don't act now, you'll miss out. It's creating urgency and emergency where none existed before, and they're not actually real. Especially if you never even knew what this thing was an hour ago, right? Like, listen, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. Not just with Prime Day. One of my worst spending moments was actually on Black Friday. Another big urgency moment, and you're sitting there like, oh my God, you just discovered this makeup palette or this whatever, this hat, this headband. And then you never knew about it an hour ago, and now you're here, mentally going, what the hell do I do for something that you don't actually need? When the pressure hits, it becomes increasingly difficult to think about any kind of critical question. Do I need this? Do I like this? Do I have something I could use already? Can I afford this? Did I know about this before coming on the website or the app? Would I want this if this weren't on sale? Could I see myself using this 30 times or wearing this 30 times? Where would I store it? Any kind of question like that. Intentional purchasing happens when we extend or expand the time between the want or the desire and the purchase. And waiting is the best way to encourage or to have critical thinking. When we shorten that period, we are removing the opportunity for critical thinking, but we're also more likely to be led by our emotions, by our desire, by our excitement. We are less likely to be thinking critically, and we are more likely to be led by emotions or feelings. And then it's these things that can take over that can also add a sense of urgency. Like, I really want it. And then as well, because it's so easy to check out on Amazon, what do they have? Like I think it's like a one-click checkout or two-click checkout. You add to cart and then you check out. And it's even easier if all your payment information is in there and if your address is in there. There is such little friction or resistance to that window or to the checkout. So if you're somebody who is maybe worried about shopping or impulsive behavior, because all of this one-click checkout and the lightning deals, all the urgency is designed for impulsivity. So if you're worried about that, there's a few things you can do within Amazon itself. You can remove your address, remove your credit card information, you can log out and or change your password. All of these things adds in more obstacles, which makes it difficult to check out, which gives you more time to think about what you want or the items in your cart. One of my top tips for changing your shopping habits, Amazon Prime Day aside, is extending that time between the want and the desire and the checkout. And that applies here and elsewhere. Amazon has a colossal marketing budget and they've been marketing this event for weeks. So you probably already know the dates or you knew them before it started. If you are an Amazon shopper, you may be getting the pre-Prime Day deals. All of this is meant to prime you for the sale, to create that sense of excitement and anticipation for the sale. I think as well in a similar way as Black Friday, so many people anticipate and get excited about Black Friday, and all of that pre-Black Friday content and emails is meant to drum up the excitement. What makes the experience of Prime Day extra precarious or extra troublesome is the pleasure of it all. Shopping feels good and it literally lights up the reward center of our brains. When you add something to your cart, most especially when it's on sale, because shopping is already a pleasurable activity in and of itself, but there are extra layers that can add extra layers of pleasure, one of them being sales. So you get that small rush of pleasure, adding things to cart, getting it on sale. But it's not just to add to cart. Prime Day has all of these little moments inside of it that add extra layers of pleasure. This is a loop and it's a self reinforcing loop. And this is a big mega sale on a big mega platform, more things to want, more things to buy. And if you're already somebody who believes you have a shopping problem, this can be one of the most dangerous parts of the whole thing. And it's the pleasure and riding the highs of the pleasure that can encourage us to keep going. There can be different levels of pleasure, like adding more things to your cart, or getting better deals, or stacking coupons. And over the next few days, if you're somebody who is experiencing tough emotions, like you're stressed, or you're anxious, or you're just feeling a little low, that $16 desk organizer can feel like a little escape. And it can be something to look forward to, which is also why a lot of people, like, what adds to the pleasure of it all is tracking your package. When does it ship? When does it get to you? And if you have multiple packages, it's multiple moments of pleasure and excitement and things to look forward to. But here's the thing about the reward and the pleasure. It's usually tied to the act of shopping and not actually the thing itself. So the pleasure that you may be experiencing while shopping, or the checkout process or the tracking process, has very little to do with the item. And the rush fades quickly once you get your item. And it's this that becomes a loop where you have the pleasure buying the item, tracking the item, it gets to you, it fades. You want to feel it again. You want to do more. So what do? You go back on, you buy more things. This is why so many people buy so many things, or at least what can contribute to it is the pleasure. That's how we end up with piles of shit in our room that we never knew how it got here. Like, when did I buy this? Where did I buy this? Why did I buy this? And we end up with so much random shit we never needed. And it's this behavior that can lead to shopping becoming your go to coping mechanism for tough emotions or stress or anxiousness. And this can be a potentially destructive way for self soothing. I don't know that it would actually qualify as self soothing, but it could feel like it. is what I mean. And Prime Day gives you the structure, the timing and the justification to do it, to indulge in this habit with almost zero friction. One of the sneakiest traps of all of Prime Day is that it blurs the distinction between needs and wants. Where it helps or facilitates the blurring. Prime Day creates a space where just about everything can be reframed as a need. And part of that really is the price. Prime Day can create the context in which normal purchases or normal boundaries between want and need start to dissolve. First, there's the emotional framing where something that may be marked as essential for productivity. Productivity is just an example, but it could be like a kitchen essential, a dorm essential, or a convenience essential. So that feels more like a need. Or if we feel like we're buying solutions to our problems, it's not just a $40 neck massager, it's a stress reliever, or the air fryer is on sale. Sure, it might be your second air fryer, but you're a meal prepper. And wouldn't it be great to be able to meal prep extra fast? Problem solved, more time. You're not buying stuff, you're buying solutions. Second, there is the pricing of it all. And it's the lower prices that can change how we mentally categorize and think about the stuff that we're buying. Let's take a neck massager. Maybe normally you don't buy it because it's $70 and you go, yeah, I don't know, $70 feels like a lot. Now it's $40. And then in your mind, you go, oh, yeah, that's worth it. You now need it because it's too good of a deal to pass up. In our heads, though, we're not making a distinction between I need it and wow, that's a good deal. Do you know what I mean? We're not parsing these two things out. So in your head, if you go, wow, that's a good deal, is worth it, the context of that is I need it. That's what I'm trying to say. There's also the volume. Sometimes when we're shopping sales, like I was on Anthropology researching for the beaded bag video and they had a 50% off sale, but it was really select items. On Prime Day, thousands of things are marked down. There are so many things. And even some of these things, they're fake markdowns. The thing is $100 regularly, but they'll put it at 130, cut the price, and list it as $100. Oh, you're saving 130, but no, it's actually always $100, so it's not a real sale. I mean, that's an added layer to this. So when there's so many items, it can be so overwhelming. Like you have so many things you can choose from. And then our brains can start looking for justifications. And these justifications can sound so reasonable. I've had it in my cart forever. I was talking about longevity and critical thinking. I hear this actually a lot. I used to say this to myself, where we convince ourselves that because we wanted it for a long time means that there like enough time has passed for there to have been critical thinking or somehow representative of that. But having something in your cart does not actually mean you thought about it at all or that you need it. We could start saying things like, oh, this would make my morning so much easier. This would make my fridge so much organized. I'd be happier with this. It's good to have a backup. What if I run out? But if you were not planning to buy this today, or if you didn't know about it today, or you don't have the budget for it today, it's still not a need. Over time, decision fatigue sets in, but also the pleasure can increase. And shopping like this can erode your sense of clarity. You can lose track of what genuinely improves your life versus things that you want because you want them or because you've seen it online or because it looks cool or whatever it is. And so you stop filtering purchases through your life, what makes sense for your life, the context of your life, etc., and you start filtering them through what else is on sale. What else would be nice to have? And this is how the lines get blurred, not in dramatic ways, but in these small, subtle ways. And one purchase or one justification can lead to another, another, and another. And when we want something so bad, that can feel like a need. And that's how needs and wants get blurred and how the wants can feel like needs. Now, it is okay to buy wants and to buy things you don't need. I am not anti want. I think some of this video, maybe some of my content can come across as like, you're not allowed to buy a thing because you want it. No, what is worth mentioning here is all of this, the pleasure and the sales and the wanting, all of this leads us or nudges us into being impulsive. Buying something that is a want is not inherently buying it impulsively. Do you really know and understand that you are in the throes of wanting something? Are you justifying things you never intended to buy because you want it? Let's now talk about the cultural pressure. As I was mentioning earlier, it is in a way like the Sephora sale, but way bigger. I, as somebody who's part of the beauty community, felt like everybody I watched, like literally everybody at the time, because I primarily watch beauty YouTube, was making Sephora sale content. And it felt like it was inescapable. And also, the way to engage with this community was by shopping the Sephora sale. Prime Day can involve lots of communities, from beauty and lifestyle to, fashion folks, but also to like stationery and crafting people and hobbyists and sporting sporting people. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. There is so much content around Prime Day. It's insane. You have everybody sharing their must-haves or their Prime Day deals, the best. And some of this is like daily content that an influencer will share in the morning once they see the lightning deals or the specific daily deals, and they'll post it. And so then that adds to the extra pressure. All of this content gives you more stuff to want, which is extra precarious if you really like the person recommending the stuff to you. Because listen, some of it are the Amazon accounts on TikTok who are selling you Amazon shit 24/7. But some of it is coming from people like who are generally not selling you Amazon stuff, like might make a video or two a year, and people that you trust, and they're giving you their Amazon favorites. Like, here's the stuff you can buy to shop the sale. That can feel more like a friend giving you a recommendation, but listen, majority of people who are posting any kind of recommendation are making money off of the affiliate program. So, I mean, influencers are generally not our friends, but anybody promoting Amazon, I would be dubious of, because they probably have a link and are making affiliate money off of it. So they are incentivized to encourage you to shop on Amazon and to make things look appealing. The cultural volume of Prime Day makes or can feel like engaging in Prime Day itself as being part of the community. And it can make overconsumption feel like a community. Sure, not everybody is buying shit on Amazon, but all of this, all of the pleasure and the deals and everything that I've talked about so far in this video, all the people engaging in it, is a recipe for over consuming and buying things you never needed, don't want, don't need. So, a couple of things to let you know. Number one is that they have increased their affiliate commissions from July 1st to close to the end of the month, might be July 25th or the end of the month itself. They also have changed, and I'll put the emails on the screen. They've also introduced what Amazon is calling bounties. Interesting choice of name. So affiliates get commission for people signing up for Amazon Prime, but also for trials. Some of this is usual, but some of this is additions. They also have an increased commission on Prime for young adults. So the usual commission is $3 per sign up or trial, and they're now offering $24 per young adult sign up. This is insane money compared to what regular commission incentives are, which are $3, and they don't actually need you to sign up for the program to make money. You can do the free trial and they make money. Here's the thing though, some of the people who are the most at risk for shopping impulsively or irresponsibly are young adults. I'm not saying that you can't make bad shopping decisions as somebody who is over the age of 24, but the people who have the least experience with credit cards, as an example, the people who are most targeted by social media, by advertising, by TikTok, are 18 to 24-year-olds. And Amazon is making a real effort to target this group. I also somebody on Instagram named Jennifer sent me this catalog of back to school stuff. They are big time targeting college students specifically. This flyer has all of the things that they're, trying to sell to college students. We talked about earlier all of the essentials. A lot of this is pitched as like back to school essentials and dorm essentials, which is like real cute because like a Smeg toaster, Smeg fridge, definitely a dorm essential, college essential. Buy new shit, buy new clothes, buy new whatever on Amazon because it's so convenient, and like there's so much shit to want. It's an endless fucking well. The point of bringing all this up, if you are somebody aged 18 to 24, watch out. They're coming for you. That was kind of menacing, but I don't necessarily mean it in a menacing way. All right, let me get to you Prime Day by the numbers. You're gonna hear a lot of stats. Let's get into it, baby. In July 2024, the first 24 hours of Prime Day, Amazon made over 7 billion in sales, which was an increase of almost 12% year over year. Insane. It was the single largest e-commerce spending day of 2024, and on several occasions. This hasn't been tracked every year, like stats aren't available every year. One of the like oldest ones is from 2019. Amazon Prime Day sales were bigger than Black Friday and Boxing Day combined. In 2024, Amazon shoppers globally bought around 375 million items. 375 million items. A lot of my audience is American. This is bigger than the population of the United States. It's like if everybody in the US bought a thing. Crazy. In 2022 alone, Amazon generated over 700 million pounds of plastic globally. That's enough to wrap the earth 800 times in plastic pillows. As I was mentioning, the average order on Prime Day is last year is about $59, with households placing around 3 orders each, totaling about $174. In 2024, nearly 40% of shoppers placed 3 or more orders. Almost 50% of total sales during Prime Day 2024 occurred on mobile devices. And in Prime Day 2024, about $1 billion worth of sales were made on buy now, pay later. No, 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 no. Why do these numbers matter? Billions of dollars were spent in just 2 days. Now we have 4 days, which, as I was saying, is even more time to buy shit. And this shows how much of a consumer mega event or consumption mega event this really is. This is behavior shaping in action. Millions of small transactions show how the event primes people to spend on low price items that quickly accumulate into big totals. And with half of the sales made from phones, convenience is fueling impulsive buying. And buy now, pay later's popularity lets people justify purchases now by paying later, often without feeling the immediate cost of the purchase. So, to conclude, Amazon built a system to push you to buy things you don't need, all while spending millions to lobby the government against all of our interests, underpaying their workers, polluting the planet. And when we're seeing all of these fun stuff on the website or the app, or looking at the best Amazon products or TikTok favorites or TikTok Amazon favorites, best beach finds, best summer finds, and you're looking at all of this stuff, it looks so fun. It looks so good. Look at all the stuff I can buy. But there's so much underneath that. So, if you needed a little motivation to shop responsibly or do not shop at all, I hope this video gave you a little bit of that. I hope that this video comes across as like your friend who cares about you, because I care about you and I want you to shop responsibly and make the best decision for you. So, that's everything for me today. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here, and hope to see you again around here soon for a new video.